Hello, I'm Keith Inman. I have the honor of being president of Kosair Charities. And in that role, I get to work with some amazing people. Obviously, our board of trustees, which many of you know, just a group of people that really want to come to work every day and help kids. But also, I get to work with our advisory council. You know, some of you may not know about them, but this is a group of people from the community that have been with us for several years who advise us on what's going on in the community, keep us attached, but more than that, they also make grants, and they make grants to some pretty special organizations. And here in a few minutes, you're going to hear from some of our advisory council members and some of our grant recipients, and they're going to talk about, why they help Kosair Charities. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm David James, President of Louisville Metro Council, and I'm also a member of the Kosair Charities Advisory Council. And we are proud to advocate for the work of Kosair and for the community. This year, we were able to provide COVID relief funding to 11 agencies, making a huge difference in the community. Today, we will hear from some of those organizations that are improving the health and well-being of kids.
My name is Patricia Williams, and I am honored to serve as President and CEO at Wesley House Community Services. Wesley House exists simply to help people help themselves, and we have been doing that for more than 117 years. We provide 3 core program areas to our community. Those include early child development, which focuses on early learning for children between birth and 5 years. We are excited to launch as a Head Start Center this year in 2021. We are also providing out-of-school time services for school-age youth, supporting academics for high performance and high school graduation. We also provide economic empowerment services for adults and family leaders. That looks like workforce development services. We provide ESL, English as a second language, financial education. We are a VITA site and a part of the Louisville Asset Building Coalition. So we are just excited to serve our community in the ways that they really need us, especially now. Like many organizations, we have had to pivot and we have had to adjust the space and go into this virtual environment that was also new to everyone last March, but we have been able to assist our families in a new way because of support of organizations like Kosair. So we thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so excited to say that we have been able to touch 80 children since August due to our NTI Community Learning Hub. We were one of the first community centers to open our Learning Hub on day 1 of school in August of last year. So we are just excited and looking to the future as we continue to reflect. We have revived, and now we are in recovery mode and looking forward to continuing to serve all 3 of our program areas and our families in a very meaningful and influential way.
Hello, my name is Christina Poole. I am the co-founder and head of school for City Schoolhouse. City Schoolhouse is a small private school in the west end of Louisville. We provide elite individualized education for families regardless of their ability to pay. Things that distinguish us as a school are that we are family focused. We use a 2-generational approach to education. We focus on whole education, not just reading, writing, arithmetic, but everything that goes into making us learning beings. And we are close to home. So the children that come to us are within very close proximity to the place in which our school is located. This year with COVID, we had a lot of unexpected changes, but gratefully, because we are a small school, we were able to adapt quickly and change the way that we were doing things. We ended up on March 13th. We had a full plan rolled out for virtual learning. We were able to deliver computers into our families' homes and get them set up with personal tutoring time to figure out how to get on Zoom and how to go through Google Meets and all that We also were able to provide our families with learning kits. So a lot of our families do not have the manipulatives and learning materials at home for their children, especially the younger ones. And so we wanted to provide that for them. So we surveyed everybody and went and delivered Play-Doh and blocks and books and things that would make the time at home more learning focused. And then we also provided individual tutors and mentors for all of our students and their families. We did drop-offs for emergency food and supplies when we knew that they were in need, when resources were scarce at the stores and a lot of our parents had lost jobs. And then we also were able to pivot with some of our different events that we had scheduled for in-person, like our annual Children's Business Fair, where kids come out and sell products and services that they have created. This year we took it virtual, and we had over 25 kids participate and had quite a robust live Facebook event, and the kids really did a good job. It was a cool way to utilize their energy and time at home for something good. This year, the Kosair funding that we were able to receive is a huge blessing, incredibly important for us for our reopening for in-person instruction this spring. Due to the state regulations on how we had to go about and implement safety guidelines with COVID, we traditionally used volunteers in a lot of our classrooms as support staff to our teachers. But this year we couldn't do that. And so we ended up needing consistent bodies and people to be able to be hired so that we could serve our families and meet the same state requirements and keep everybody safe. So the Kosair funding that we ask for is going to be able to provide more of our families with more at-home resources via learning kits, more of those, which are always needed, some more technology for our classroom in person and at home for virtual learning, and then also is going to be able to provide us some additional staff so that we can offset the increased costs that we would have otherwise had since we traditionally use volunteers. So we are very grateful at City Schoolhouse, and we are very excited to be back in person with all of our families and our children. And just thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Dr. Sean L. Gardner, CEO and founder of 201 Fatherhood Families. The mission of 201 is to promote the safety and well-being of children by implementing strategies to keep fathers involved and families together. In 2012, 201 took on the program to work with our young Black boys. And we did so because of two reasons. One, our young Black boys were being cast in a negative light in our community. And then two, they were also shown to be struggling in a JCPS report that showed that our young Black boys, when compared to their white counterparts, were less likely to graduate from school, were more likely to get in trouble by being placed in alternative school or getting suspended. Now, in 2020, when COVID hit, we were able to receive funding from Kosair that allowed us to buy karate equipment and also allowed us to have the equipment and material that we needed to have these meetings with our boys. Now, a couple of things happened. One, we weren't able to do the karate because we were no longer able to meet as a result of social distancing. But also, we transitioned from the way that we were doing rites of passage to a new format. So the way we were doing rites of passage was 2 10-week cohorts. Now, what we do is 4 3-week cohorts. Now, when we were doing the old model, we would meet weekly on Sundays for a couple of hours, and then we would end the session with karate class. Now, what we do, however, is we have 3 weeks, 2 Zoom sessions per week with a trip on the weekend, and the final trip is a trip camping. And with that being said, now in 2021, we're scheduling to do 4 of the cohorts, which means we're going to have 4 3-week sessions. Now, without Kosair, this would be a challenge. And I think one of the biggest areas that I have to talk about is the camping, which really turned out to be a significant and an important part of the work that we do. But why is that? Well, with COVID, a lot of our families were displaced. We had families that couldn't pay their rent. We had families that didn't have food. And so what we realized, there were a lot of families that were just focusing on the struggles and wasn't having an opportunity to really live life. in a positive way. So what we were able to do, one, with their kids, take their kids and do things with their kids. And let me also pause there, because what I also recognize during this COVID is that while COVID is serious and adults recognize it, I don't know if our kids always recognize. So the kids may not always practice social distancing. So what we were able to do is find a way to give them an activity such as camping, and also do it in such a way that they still recognize social distancing. But here's the cool thing. We also added another camping trip for families. And the reason we added another camping trip, because with COVID and JCPS not having school, or with schools across the country not operating as normal, we now partner with other entities, and we support, we're working together for NTI. We have NTI hubs. So those families, along with our parenting leadership development program, the High Roads, those families, now those children of those families get to go on camping trips. And again, let me just emphasize how important that is. So with Kosair, we were able to literally go out and buy about 20 to 25 tents. And so now each family has a tent that is there while we're out camping. So not only now do we have our rites of passage kids who get to go out and camp and do something different and not be consumed with what's going on in terms of COVID. Now we have the kids that are associated with our NTI hubs and the children associated with our High Road. They get to go camping as well. But in 2021, we can get back to resuming karate. But again, what I will say, I cannot stress enough how much a reliever this has been for our family to be able to go camping, and just, if nothing else, for that night of camping, for those couple of days of camping, be able to get away from the COVID and just enjoy family and do it in a safe environment where we're all practicing social distancing. So thank you for an opportunity to share that. And I'm looking forward to having a fruitful year and sharing our successes at the end of 2021. Be safe.
I'm Elizabeth Woolsey. I'm a proud member of the Kosair Charities Advisory Council, and I'd like to take a moment to thank these organizations and every organization that we fund for the incredible ways they are showing up for kids like never before during this extremely difficult time. And all the time, they're pivoting, dealing with a lack of funding and finding new ways to help kids in need. These organizations received COVID relief grant funding from the Advisory Council this year and are truly making a difference. 2-Not-1 Fatherhood and Families, Bridge Kids International, Carriage House, City Schoolhouse, Doors to Hope, Global Game Changers, Louisville TKO, Orchid House, Southwest Community Ministries, St. George's Scholar Institute, and Wesley House. On behalf of the Kosair Charities Advisory Council, I'd like to thank every organization for the ways you are showing up to improve the health and well-being of children in our community. Thank you, and I hope you all have a safe and happy new year.